Montagnan tongue. Most people in the Vale spoke Montagnan, and everyone could understand it. Salt dusted its skin. It must have been flying close to the water for some time. The speech startled Ileth. A part of her new dragons could talk, even learn human tongues, but it still seemed like an entertainer's trick. The rider threw down and drew up the well bucket on its good rope and well-oiled spool. The people of the free sand on the north coast were nautical and knew good rope from bad. They'd never let a public well line fray. The dragon drank. The girl watched it lap up the water like a dog, its tongue a blur, then the neck muscles ripple in fast succession as they sent the water down the muscular neck. The girl swallowed experimentally, feeling her own throat work. Farther down the road, townsfolk emerged from behind their colorful doors. The people of the free sand made up for their drab little salt-bleached houses with elaborately painted doors, suddenly having business on their doorsteps, but really to look at the dragon. They kept their distance. The beasts were unpredictable and didn't like crowds, and everyone had heard the story about the time the tanner's son had both his legs broken when he was caught by the tail of a dragon when it startled and turned. But the girl with the bucket liked animals, the bigger the better, especially tall, proud horses that swished their tails. She walked up to the well with the fearlessness of 7. The dragon had infinitely more tail than a horse, and its tip swished impatiently as it drank. Ileth tried counting the scales, but it was an impossible task, especially on a moving tail. The dragon cocked one eye in her direction and finished the bucket, smacking its toothy mouth in satisfaction. Its rider— no, his— only the green dragons were female, all the others were male. His rider inspected his left wing. "The stitching popped," the Dragoneer said. "No wonder we nearly plunked." She spoke well, what the stricter of the two teachers who sometimes came to the lodge would call best correct. The Dragoneer went to her saddle, opened a leather case, and produced some white line the girl with the bucket couldn't identify. It looked a bit like cording, only thinner. Mechanically, as if there weren't a dragon just on the other side of it, the little girl drew up water and filled her bucket, watching the dragon while she worked. The dragon sniffed the air about her. The girl watched his nostrils take in air like a landed fish gulping. A forked tongue flicked out and back, so quickly she wasn't sure it had even happened. "Agraf, don't do the thing with your teeth," the Dragoneer said, extracting some bits of frayed line from the creature's wing. "She's just a child." The 7-year-old forgot her bucket and ventured out into the open before the dragon. The thing with your teeth?" the girl said. She didn't like to talk because of her stutter, but how often could you ask a dragon a question anyway? The dragon stared straight at her, extending his neck a little so he slowly, serpent-like, came closer to her face. He had numberless, tiny facets of polished silver metal scale in fascinating array all over his face, going down to the leathery spiked fans behind his jaw. You could get lost tracing the intricate patterns. With the suddenness of a curtain snapping in the wind, the dragon pulled back his lips and revealed a mouthful of gleaming teeth. To the girl there seemed to be hundreds of them lined up in his mouth like fish packed in oil, all long as boat nails and sharp as daggers. She squeaked in shock and jumped back. But it was so funny. "Again!" she squealed.
"If I do it again, you have to clean them,"
the dragon said. The girl nodded in agreement. They looked clean anyway. Down the slope, anxiety worked on some of the watching faces, but the girl had eyes only for the great silver creature. "If you want to be helpful, come over here," the Dragoneer said. The girl wanted to be helpful, very much. Forgetting her bucket and her warning about being pokey, she ventured over, sliding under the wing, noticing that it was thin enough so you could make out the shape of the sun on the other side, until she stood next to the Dragoneer. The dragon had a tear taller than the girl in one of the wide sail-like expanses of wing skin. The dragon had helpfully angled its wings so she could work. What are you doing?" the girl asked, though it was obvious that the Dragoneer was setting about to sew the rend back up. "Fixing some shoddy stitching," the Dragoneer said. "What's your name, girl?" Ileth, the girl said.